I felt like a Vyas Puja offering. So if this is how much he is speaking about me, then I'll need a full saptah for Radheshyam Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Radheshyam Prabhu, for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to speak in the midst of so many young, enthusiastic youth who are taking up to Krishna consciousness. And of course, Pune is very famous for transforming the hearts of youth thanks to the efforts of Radheshyam Prabhu and his team. And I noticed recently after our Vada project began that there is a genuine culture of hearing and chanting which has been inculcated in the youth and the congregation of Pune. And of course, Kanai Thakur Prabhu, who is just manifested, he's become like a life member of Vada. He has probably visited Vada more times than even our youth preachers. And it is not easy to travel from Pune to Vada. It's like at least 5 to 6 hours it takes. So I was very inspired and impressed to see that the preachers here have been trained very well to kind of create environment where you can get together, hear, chant and exchange Krishna Katha. So that's a very, very wonderful culture, and you are very fortunate to receive that culture. So in the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one shloka, and I will speak on that, which will give an idea about what is the effect of Krishna Katha. So this shloka talks about 5 effects of Harikatha. As Radheshyam Prabhu wanted me to share on inspiration in studying Srimad Bhagavatam, how the Bhagavatam is so important. Of course, honestly speaking, I am studying nowadays much less than what I used to study more. And sometimes I tell that to devotees. And then they say, no problem. Especially the people with whom I am working, and they become fearful that I'll withdraw myself and start studying more. So they say, don't worry, now you are digesting it. Please come for the next meeting. So, I have very fond memories of my stay here in Pune it was a very short period. But it was very simple that we just stayed together, and we don't even remember how much we earned and how much we spent. Because whatever money we would bring, we will keep at one place, and it will be used for cooking prasad and distributing prasad. So it was the first Food for Life program in Pune. And in the evenings we would go out to preach, and we had 2 cycles. I see a whole line of bikes here. So you're all rich guys. Even as students you're driving bikes. We were working, earning salaries but having cycles. So I would be driving one cycle, and Sudama Prabhu is well built, so he would take Radheshyam Prabhu double ride. Unfortunately, we don't have any pictures. We don't have any photos, of that time. Otherwise, many of you could have posted on your Facebook. I don't think they would be inspired to sell their bikes and ride cycles. Rather, they would take that and put on Facebook. So it was a different period, and even Chowpatty was a small temple. It was actually a simple temple, very small and very compact, not too many things happening. So in those circumstances, we got the culture from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj that the entire basis for our spiritual life and the basis for material life is two opposite things. What inspires material life? Sex life. And what inspires spiritual life? Sound vibration. So you have to accept one of these two inspirations in your life. Whether you are going to be inspired by sex or you are going to be inspired by sound. And when a person, has issues with sex life, then he becomes very demoralized. He loses inspiration and he becomes very, very morose. Right? Prabhupada went to one devotee's room and he found on the altar there was a picture of a Panchatattva, Gaurnitai, Radha Krishna, Narsingadev and one beautiful girl. And Prabhupada asked him, all the other pictures is fine, why this girl's picture is here? And he said, in my eyes, she is the most beautiful girl I ever saw. And I fell in love with her. I was chasing her like anything, I wanted to marry her. But she broke my heart and ran away with someone else. At that point, I became so frustrated that I started asking questions, who am I? Why do bad things happen to good people? So then I started searching and then I met devotees. They gave answers. And when I got the answers, I am now chanting. But because she was the cause of my frustration, I consider her one of my gurus. So therefore I have given her that place. So for most of you, probably it may not happen, but it is quite common that in the youth, people get entangled with some girlfriend and they become frustrated because of some relationships issue, and then they start searching for answers, for the truth. And many people have joined ISKCON temples in such circumstances. So that means the inspiration of sex life brings one and pushes one closer to Krishna, pushes one closer to a relationship, and when that gets broken, they start searching and land up in a relationship with Krishna. So therefore, when a person has sex life as an inspiration, it moves him into action. In Turkey, there was a village, and the women in the village were extremely distressed because they had to go 2 kilometers distance to fetch water. And they were telling their husbands again and again, please you create a borewell facility so that we can have water here. We don't have to walk all that distance. And the husbands didn't respond to their requests. They neglected. For a long time they didn't respond. So then when the ladies became really frustrated, they all got together and decided, we will not allow our husbands to touch us, and we will force them to become temporary brahmachari. That means no sex life till the borewell is created. And then they communicated that to their husbands. Within 24 hours, borewell was created. This is the power of sex life. That it can really enchant the heart of a conditioned soul. And thus a conditioned soul becomes ready to do various things which normally he would not be inspired to do. So therefore in traditional India, when a young man was seen as irresponsible, not working, not doing jobs, not taking interest in father's business, they had a standard remedy. इसकी शादी करा दो, बेटा सुधर जाएगा. Because the weight of that responsibility comes. So therefore, dear friends, as far as sex life is concerned, it is one of the most powerful movers. It just moves people into action. So therefore, Kama or Cupid is one of the most powerful players. And historically now, since Ram Navami is coming, even personalities like Rawana, who were materially extremely competent. In this world nowadays, you find on the society magazine's front cover pictures of people with competence, not necessarily with character. All the best-selling magazines, either related to society, industry, entertainment, sports, they all choose people of high competence who are successful in the display of their particular talents and who have been acknowledged in society with fame and fortune. But you do not necessarily want them to qualify as personalities with high character. That is not a requirement in society. That is not a requirement for the magazines to sell. Right? So after many years after independence, then finally someone like Anna Hazare managed to gather lakhs of people together and shake India on the power of character. But there is one Anna Hazare and millions of other actors, actresses, entertainers, cricket players. The whole of India was praying for Sachin Tendulkar's 100th century. That was like as if he is going to attain Vaikuntha. The whole of India was in so much of kuntha, so much of anxiety. What will happen? And we don't have to be seeing newspapers or even seeing television. You just go around on billboards, you understand what's happening in the world. So there is not much emphasis on cultivation of character or good behavior or following principles. It's all based on what you can achieve somehow or the other by hook or by crook. So Ravana was the origin of all these people. Ravana considered the entire universe to be like a shopping mall. Whatever he liked, he could pick. That was his style. He would go see some Apsara, like her, come. He would go see something, some golden object, he would pick it up. The whole idea was how this particular object can satisfy me. That is Kama. Kama means how can a particular object satisfy me and give pleasure to me. And the epitome of that mentality is represented by Ravana. So we have two eyes, and with two eyes, the vision we have is that of lust in the conditioned state. Conditioned state means there is a lusty vision. That means I look at any object, I think how I can enjoy. I look at a cell phone, new model, I think how I can enjoy this. I look at an iPad, I think how I can enjoy this. I look at a car, how I can enjoy this. I look at a woman, how I can enjoy this. I look at some food items, how I can enjoy. So this vision of how I can enjoy that object, how I can develop a relationship with this object called sambandha. Relationship is sambandha. If I develop relationship with this object, this person, this situation, how I can enjoy, that is kama. So that was Ravana. So we have 2 eyes, Ravana had 20 eyes. Because he had 10 heads. So you can imagine how much more capacity he had to look at object of this world in a lusty fashion. So he was traveling around like that, with kama, with lust. And he met Narad Muni. And then he looked at Narad Muni and told Narad Muni, in fact it is described that he entered into a king's yajna with a sword. And in that king's yajna, Indra, Yamraj, they were also there, and Kubera, or 1 or 2 other demigods were there. So as soon as Yamraj, the Lord of death is supposed to create fear in everyone's heart. When Yamraj saw Ravana, he became fearful that if Ravana sees me, he will kill me. That was Ravana's power. So Yama took the form of a crow. So Ravana came and he saw, only a crow is sitting. Useless. Phew, he did like that and crow flew away. So Ravana laughed. He thought, useless crow. So he didn't bother fighting. And that king who was organizing the yajna already fell at the feet of Ravana. Allowed him to take all the queens and whichever women was there. So Ravana was happy, I got my taxes. And then Indra, he took the form of a peacock. And the peacock was dancing. And Ravana thought that, okay, this is a good dance for my pleasure, no problem. Let him also survive, let him live. And so Ravana picked up whatever he wanted and left. So that is why Yamraj became so much indebted to crows that because of you, I survived today. So therefore he gave benediction to the crows that anyone in future wants to send any good wishes to Yamaloka will be through the crow. So you know that Pinddan is given. So you make all those rice balls and offer it. Until the crow comes and eats, it is not considered accepted. So crow by default became the ambassador of Yamraj. And because Indra became very happy with peacocks, that you saved me, Indra gave benediction to the peacocks that whenever I appear and my agents appear in the form of clouds, so immediately you will become happy and you will start dancing. So the peacocks have connection with the clouds and the rain. So Ravana in this way became very much an embodiment of great fear and torment for others because he had only one mentality, how I can enjoy, how I can enjoy, how I can enjoy. Nothing else. So then when he met Narad Muni, suddenly he developed some feeling that I should get some spiritual knowledge also. So he asked Narad Muni, oh my dear Narada, can you give me some Brahma Gyan? Narad Muni said, sorry to say, but I think you need a little more qualification. You are not ready for it. And Ravana became very angry. So he had only, he only gave people 2 choices. Either fulfill my desire, otherwise take out the sword. So he took out the sword and told Narad Muni, you won't give me Brahma Gyan, I will kill you. Why you will not give me the Brahma Gyan? And Narad Muni said, this is why. Is this the way you behave in order to solicit Brahmagyan? Is this the way? There has to be humility, tolerance. What is this? You are behaving so low class. You don't deserve to get Brahmagyan. So Ravana became so angry, he took the sword and attacked Narad Muni. But Narad Muni has a Satchidananda Deha, spiritual body. The sword went right through the body. Zoom. And nothing happened. Ravana got bewildered. Because Ravana had killed tons of people, including, so many demons, demigods, everyone. Ravana said, "What kind of a body is this you have, Narad Muni?" And Narad Muni said, "It's a Chinmay, Divya Deha." Ravana said, "I also want." That is the Ravana mentality. Inquisitive. As soon as he sees something, he wants to possess it. He wants to possess. So Narad Muni said, it is possible. You have to chant Ram Nam. You take Ram Nam, you will get Chinmay Deha. Start. Ravana said, impossible. I can make many rounds of the universe, but not one round of that I am saying. So Ravana would routinely traverse the whole universe collecting attractive objects. And that's how Lanka was a place where so much of gold was stored. Sone ki Lanka. So therefore Ravana is the embodiment of lust, of kama vasana. And therefore when he saw Sita Devi, Sita is supposed to be goddess of fortune, but Ravana was so unfortunate that he thought of enjoying with Sita. And he made a whole intrigue and plan and actually kidnapped Sita and brought her to Lanka, which is the most abominable thing. But because he had been cursed by another Apsara, that Ravana, you cannot forcibly have enjoyment with another woman. Marich tried to convince Ravana that don't do this. It is not that any object you see in this world you must become possessed with the idea to enjoy. No. Proceed Lankeswara Rakshasendra Lankam Prayacha Bhavasadu Gacha Tvamasveshu Dareshu Ramaswanityam Ramah Sabharyam Ramatam Vanesu. So Marich is giving advice to Ravana. Oh Lankeshwar, please be satisfied with all the queens you have in your palace. Lankam Prayacha, please go to Lanka. Bhavasadu Gacha, with all your limbs intact. That is the warning Marich is given. That if you want to go with all your limbs intact, please go right now, without kidnapping Sita. Tvamasveshu dareshu ramaswanitvam, and you just enjoy with your queens. Ramah sabharyam ramatam vaneshu, and let Ram enjoy with his queen. Let Ram enjoy with Sita, you go and enjoy with your queens. What's your problem? So Ravana became angry. He told Marich, I came to give you service, not to hear your advice. And don't do things without my consent. So therefore you just do what I am saying, otherwise I will kill you. So Ravana could not take Marich's advice. So thus, Ravana had already kidnapped Sita and he wanted to enjoy with her. Sita Devi was not allowing Ravana to come near. Ravana became frustrated. He went into the palace, woke up Kumbhakarna. And what a family Ravana had. Each personality had his own unique strength. And Kumbhakarna was such a huge, powerful being. But he had the capacity to sleep 364 days out of 365 days. And that is the dream of many people. If I can have one working day in whole year and still get the salary. Somebody was looking through our Krishna art book and I asked him, which photo you like? They pointed to Mahavishnu. So somebody asked him, why? सो रहे हैं फिर भी काम चल रहा है. That is a dream. Let us not do anything. But that is only possible for Lord. Parasa Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. In our case, it doesn't happen. Even if you have become senior in ISKCON and you think, I will just tell someone some seva, and it will keep happening. It will never happen. It will never happen. So if you just think, let there be nice prasad, and automatically, all kinds of dishes start coming, descending from spiritual world. Doesn't happen. So therefore, Kumbhakarna had this lifestyle, but he was woken up and he was very disturbed because he had been woken up untimely. And when you are woken up, you don't like it. Even if your friend wakes you during japa. Many times when someone wakes you during japa, you get up angry. And then, नहीं आप थोड़ा झपकी ले रहे थे. नहीं ध्यान लगा रहा था. And you can't argue, you can't prove, you can't do anything. So okay. थोड़ा ध्यान कम लगाइए. So the proof that it was sleep is that the anger comes. Right from Tamogun, anger comes. So here, Kumbhakarna got up, he was angry, and he's asking Ravana, Arey, you already have mystic power, that you can take anyone's form. So all you have to do is take the form of Lord Ram, change your form. You already became a sage and Brahman and everything and went and kidnapped in that form. So you have Mayavi Shakti. You can accept any form. Just take the form of Ram and go to Sita. Sita will think, oh, Ram has come. She will embrace and you enjoy. Story is over. And Ravana looked at Kumbhakarna and said, you think I am so stupid? And you think for that I will wake you up? And you don't think with my 10 heads I can't think of that idea? This is the first idea I got. But the problem with this idea is, if I have to accept the form of Ram, I have to chant the name of Ram. Because I have to sit, meditate on that form and chant the name, and when I chant Ram Nam, Sita appears as a mother. So what is the point? So that means the sound vibration has power to change the vision. So therefore that personality who was the epitome of inspiration through sex life is Ravana. Even he experienced transformation when sound vibration came into the picture. So therefore I don't have to ask you, are you affected by sex life? I don't have to embarrass you with that question. We are all affected by sex desire. So how do we change that inspiration? Through sound vibration. And therefore the first thing which happens in the Krishna consciousness movement is we become exposed to the sound vibration in the association of devotees. And in that sound vibration we start hearing and chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the powerful sound vibration. All of you are very powerful in your chanting. So this is a very, very first step to chanting. So Prabhupada asked one devotee one time, you know why I am writing so many books? Why so many cantos of Bhagavatam we are publishing, printing, distributing? So the devotee said, so that, we can become more serious, so that we can, spread the message amongst people, so that we can do this, do that, so many things. Prabhupada said, no. We are writing all these books so that you remain convinced that you have to chant Hare Krishna every day and all the time. You have to remember and meditate on Krishna. And if you can do that, then probably there is not need for writing and publishing and distributing so many books. But the problem is we can't do that. We need regular doses of reminders. And therefore, in order to remind us that we need that continuous connection with Krishna's holy name, the sound vibration, that reminder is given through another sound vibration, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but a alarm clock. That alarm clock, it starts going off, and when alarm clock goes off, what happens? You wake up. Wake up to the reality of your duties. When you are sleeping, you are not aware. What is my duty? Right? And then alarm clock goes off. Sometimes in our brahmacharya ashram many years ago, there were devotees who used to sleep so deeply and they would be totally oblivious to the alarm ringing. That means sometimes even alarm was not sufficient to wake them up. And they would keep alarm 3 o'clock, 2:30, very ambitious timings. And 2-3 other brahmacharis would wake up and keep searching in the dark from where the sound is coming. And they would bump into each other. And they would catch each other. Hey, tumhara alarm, mera nahi. Why we dhoond rahe ho? And that guy who has kept that alarm for 2:30 and 3 or whatever, he is sleeping peacefully, not knowing that he has already disturbed so many people's sleep. Sometimes one of our brahmacharis would keep an alarm inside his locker and lock the locker. And then sleep like 3-4 feet away from the locker. And his logic was, many times if you keep alarm next to you, as soon as the first ring happens, you switch it off and then you continue sleeping. So he didn't want to be, doing that. He wanted the alarm to wake him up. So he had that system, thinking that when that goes, I will get up, come to the locker, open the locker. By the time I switch it off, my body is already in movement. But the problem is that he could not hear it. And then 2-3 other brahmacharis are coming, putting their ears near the locker, trying to figure out how to switch it off also. And they look around and they see 5-6 people sleeping. They don't know whose is it. So when the alarm rings, the purpose of the alarm is to awaken you to your duties. So therefore the Bhagavatam is like a transcendental sound vibration which awakens you, gives you a reminder that you have a duty. What is that? Chanting. To remember Krishna. To always remember Krishna. Ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare Kim va punah taccharanarvindam paraga seva ratiratmalabdhas. That ashesha sanklesha shamam vidhatte gunanuvada shravanam murare. The hearing and chanting of the glories of Krishna, it just purifies the heart of all kalmash, of all the impurities and anarthas, and makes you prepared to actually develop a relationship, a sambandha with Krishna. And then one actually starts remembering the fragrance of the lotus feet of Krishna. Kimva punastat charanarabindam paraga seva ratir atmalabdhas. Paraga refers to the saffron dust particles at Krishna's lotus feet. Like parag is like in the lotus you have what is known as the inside portion. So the inside of the lotus, pollen of the lotus, paraga seva. Ratir atmalabdhas, simply by hearing the sound vibration of Krishna Katha, Krishna Lila, all of these qualities are awakened within the heart. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound vibration of Bhagavatam Katha, when we sit and hear in the association of devotees, it awakens us to our real duties in spiritual life, of what we must do, what we are supposed to do. Right? So therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam has been presented in the form of a sound vibration. And in the Bhagavatam itself, the purpose has been described. And what is that purpose? It is described, Pravartaye Bhagavatam Purana Yat Sakshat Bhagavan Rishibhya. Pravartaye Bhagavatam Purana. This Bhagavatam has been described by the great sages to actually annihilate the miseries of the conditioned soul. Anartha upashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya ajanato vidvans chakre satvata samhitam. Vyasdev wrote this so that we can become free from the anarthas. What is the anartha? Lust, desire to enjoy. So when you hear this transcendental sound vibration, katha, the leelas, the different stories of personalities, the first thought and the first transformation which happens is that your vision starts changing from how I can enjoy this object to how I can use this object to serve and please Krishna. That is the transformation. That is the final intended effect of this. So the sound transforms your vision from I, me and mine to Krishna's. So you start thinking how I can use this for Krishna's pleasure. Right? And that's how Prabhupada also would see. He would be walking and then he will see a building. And Prabhupada would say, let us have that for Krishna, for the temple. We will make a temple in this. One businessman came to Prabhupada and said, I have one factory here in Jaipur, one factory in Delhi, I have a factory there, but I am so much of anxiety, I can't sleep. Prabhupada said, give the factory to ISKCON, you sleep peacefully. Why he is not able to sleep? Because of anxiety that this object, this business and the money coming from the business is supposed to give me pleasure. When the intended pleasure doesn't come, when pain comes, you can't sleep. You can't tolerate it. One becomes frustrated. So therefore Saraswati Thakur said, the purpose of Krishna consciousness is to free you from the burden of trying to enjoy this world. Now it may appear contradictory from modern advertising perspective. The whole advertising industry will be closed down if Saraswati Thakur's statement is accepted. If trying to enjoy this world is a burden, what will you advertise? The whole advertising industry is enjoy this cola, enjoy this bike, enjoy this car, enjoy these houses. All the way in the express highway from Bombay to Pune, you just see most of the ads are enjoy living in a house. So many real estate advertisements. Right? They are showing all these houses. Beautiful big houses, nice houses. And when people see that, the whole idea is advertising industry is trying to create sambandha gyan. What is advertising industry? Sambandha gyan. It's that every product is a different sambandha. Cigarette company is trying to create sambandha gyan within you. Smoke this cigarette, you'll be happy. Have they ever shown in any cigarette ad a guy who's coughing like anything, blood coming out, and he's lying on his deathbed because of smoking? And then they say, buy 555. Buy, this whatever, Bristol. Right? They used to have this cigarette ad, live life king size. And they would show behind the guy, he's smoking, and then there is a beautiful woman on his arms. There is a jet, private jet in the background, a Mercedes and Rolls Royce on the side. And this guy has come to see the movie in a Khatara cycle. And he's watching this ad and he's thinking, live life king size. That is the only missing link in my life. Probably if I get this cigarette, my life will also become like that. That's what the advertising industry is trying to sell. The prospects is what Sambandha Gyan is all about. But then what they don't show is that you may live king size, but you will die dog size. Next life you get, you don't know. And there was one more ad, one of the cigarette companies used to show, I get what I want. I get what I want. And all these enjoyments are around. But they don't show, I also get what I don't want. TB, cancer, so many other diseases. So what that cigarette ad is trying to convey? Enjoyment. You have a right to enjoy. You can enjoy. There is only one thing in your life, which is this cigarette. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam. Till you get this product, your life is a dreary void. Please understand. We have come. We have descended. Our product has taken avatar for you. Please enter into this Leela, into this pastime, and you become God and enjoy. Have your own gopis. That's what the whole thing is, perverted reflection. And that's how everyone is getting miserable. So Krishna consciousness is not rocket science. The concept is very simple to understand, but very difficult to apply. So Prabhupada said, the philosophy is simple, the application is difficult. The philosophy is simple, right? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. Keep chanting 16 rounds every day, all life. Bas! Oh! Why you guys keep having so many lectures? Huh? For your own time pass? Because to practice this is very difficult. Because the enjoyment propensity, the Ravana vision is so deep rooted inside the heart, it won't get uprooted overnight. When you hear Bhagavatam, there is one shloka which says that the hearing of Bhagavatam gives conviction and full realization at least when the class is going on. At least during the time when the sound vibration is being transmitted and you are taking your notes and you are attentive and every point is making lot of sense. You try to enjoy, you will be miserable. Yeah. There is absolutely no pleasure in objects of this world. Absolutely right. The more you follow in the footsteps of Ravana, you will suffer. Perfect. Therefore, surrendering to Krishna is the only way. Krishna, I am coming. And then you get out of the room and your friend says, hey, let's go for a night show movie, man. I am coming there also. And Krishna, tomorrow morning, Mangalarti, I'll see you. Because Ishopanishad says that we should have association with both knowledge and ignorance. We should know both. Vidyam cha yastad vedo bhuyam saya. So then what happens is, a karmi enjoys in ignorance. Right? A devotee who is practicing, he renounces in knowledge. So both are in one sense kind of happy. That guy is happy in tamogun, in his ignorance. Devotee who is practicing nicely is happy because of goodness. But a devotee who knows what I am supposed to do but is unable to follow because of weakness of heart, he knows I must not be like Ravana, but then material energy pulls him into that enjoyment propensity. He is the most miserable. Okay, so therefore there are two categories of people in college. You are all in college? How many of you are in college? Okay, you have some people who are like toppers. How many of you are toppers kind or... I mean, don't be humble. I'm just saying that. Please raise your hand as a... Yeah, so all of you are toppers. So toppers means before your exam you already do 2-3 revisions or whatever, you're ready. You know, you can go through the syllabus front to back, back to front. And so many of the other batchmates will come to you one day before exam for your ashirwad, for help, for being initiated by you. You know, and you give your few tips here, there. You know, in IIT I have seen the toppers would go around different rooms. Kya padh raha hai? This I was reading at the beginning of semester. And this I finished in my last semester. Last semester? As a recreation. So they have the potency to really make the average guys nervous just by the extent of what they have studied. You know, and they are looking forward to the exam next day. So they are like Kshatriyas ready for battle. They have all the arms and ammunitions ready of knowledge. And there is other category who is blissful and they have never attended any lecture. They don't know how the professor looks like also. You know. And one day before exam, they are also moving around the hostel peacefully. And going to the guys and say, क्या टेंशन ले रहा है? क्या लेके आए थे? क्या लेके जाए थे? They become the local philosophers. And if they meet a devotee and they see the devotee struggling hard, अरे कृष्ण कहते हैं मा फलेषु कदाचन. जो भी नसीब में है वो तो होगा, पढ़ के क्या फायदा है। तू कहाँ जा रहा है? मैं तो पिक्चर देखने जा रहा हूँ। इतना दिन कुछ नहीं हुआ तो एक दिन से क्या होगा? So they are also kind of in a detached mode, and they have already prepared for a 6-year or 8-year BTech program. So the people who are most miserable are the middle ones. And that's what Bhagavatam describes. Yascha modatamo loke yascha buddhe paramgata tau ubhau sukham edete klishyanti antarito jana. परेशान होता है तो बीच का आदमी. He is not topper. He has not studied also too much. But he has attended lectures also. But in lecture he was daydreaming. He was doing daydreaming. He has not heard the lectures, he has not done revision, he has not understood. But he has seen who takes good notes. That is one thing you should do. I am giving you a tip. In case you are not very sharp, keep observing who is taking good notes and then take some of their xeroxes. That will land you up, sometimes with more marks than the person taking notes also. So this guy, a group of them come together one day before exam and they are all struggling and fighting hard. So like that, in Krishna consciousness also there are those who are coasting along peacefully. Chanting, oh blissful. Reading, oh amazing. Hearing, maja aa raha hai. And the other guy who doesn't know anything about ISKCON, Hare Krishna, nothing, who doesn't want to come also. But then there are those who have heard the lecture, understood, started chanting, but then can't follow the principle, can't keep up the chanting, this, that, so many issues. And they go through difficulties. So then they only keep hearing in lecture that Krishna consciousness is blissful. They blissful? And they look at other person, ये blissful है क्या? ये blissful? पता नहीं, मैं ही शायद blissful नहीं हूँ. So you have to appreciate that we are all experiencing the same struggle. The struggle is common for all. The struggle with the anarthas, struggle with transforming that vision from the Rawana vision to the vision of actually seeing Krishna as the enjoyer. The vision of trying to enjoy Sita to the vision of bringing Sita to Ram. So that is the great challenge, and it's not going to happen overnight. So when you enter into the Krishna consciousness movement, you should be aware of how long the treatment is going to take. It's not a day, 2 days, 10 days, 15 days program. It's going to take a whole lifetime. So you have to be ready for that challenge. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam appears in order to create that transformation through the sound vibration. And by hearing the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear examples and stories of great personalities who have maintained that vision of trying to serve Krishna and please Krishna and make Krishna as the object of all enjoyment of all other objects, in spite of all circumstances, in pleasure or in pain. So personal comfort and discomfort doesn't matter. Krishna's pleasure matters. So to come to that level, you hear Parikshit Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, the Pandavas, Queen Kunti, Bhishma Dev, the Gopis, Bali Maharaj, so many pastimes, detailed description, theme is same. How Krishna can be made as our object of worship. He becomes the enjoyer. I just become an instrument in offering him enjoyment. even at the expense of personal discomfort. That is the essence of Krishna consciousness. So Sripad Madhavendra Puri demonstrated that by becoming the instrument for serving Gopal in separation. All of you know that you are working so hard to create the Radha Vrindavan Chandra temple of understanding. With great effort you make the temple, the deities are installed. Naturally, you want to spend time with the deities, seeing how they are worshipped, and that is also a pleasure in that. But as soon as the deities were installed, Lord appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and told him, you go and get some chandan from Malay. I am feeling hot. So that meant that Madhavendra Puri had to walk through half of India in summer season to get that. It was not an easy task. So Madhavendra Puri, if Lord appears in our dream and gives some service, we will think, why he comes in my dream? We may negotiate in the dream itself. My dear Lord, uske sapne mein jao nahi. वो ज़्यादा sincere है. Because initially we have taken to Krishna consciousness, so we have changed our dress, changed our language, changed our food habits, timings of doing activities in the day. But the Ravana mentality does not change overnight. We have begun the process. What is the Ravana mentality? Me first. I as the enjoyer first. And anything which compromises my enjoyment becomes a matter of negotiation, becomes a matter of question, discussion, debate, confrontation, conflict. Oh, this is not giving me enjoyment. How can I accept it? So therefore Madhavendra Puri accepted a lot of personal discomfort while traveling through hot summer season, long distances, negotiating with so many taxpayers and literally risking death, putting his life on stake. And then he reached Ramuna. Ramuna is the place where there is a deity of Gopinath. And Lord Gopinath stole the sweet rice, stole the kheer for Madhavendra Puri. So, when the pujari heard that, he was astounded that I am serving in this, particular place for years together. Lord never appeared in my dream. And for Madhavendra Puri has appeared. Kshirala Ayyar Nama Madhav Puri Tomalagi Gopinath Kshir Koila Churi. So he goes out and starts shouting, who is this Madhavendra Puri? Who is this Madhavendra Puri? For you, Lord has stolen this kheer. So Madhavendra Puri becomes very fearful. Steal. Who will come forward in any kind of theft case? So then he assures him, don't worry, Lord has stolen. You will not be implicated. Then Madhavendra Puri comes forward. And as soon as he comes forward, it becomes like a local news. It becomes like a sensation that Krishna, the deities, has stolen for Madhavendra Puri. It is a matter of such historical prestige that for the rest of eternity in the devotee community, somebody is going to be glorified that Lord has stolen for him. Pratisthar bhaye puri gela palaiya, Krishna preme pratishtha chale sange gadaiya. So actually, when we even start serving, then we start expecting some appreciation. Right? All of you are serving. So you think at least somebody should say some good words about my service. आपने सेवा अच्छा किया, and you say, नहीं प्रभु, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, तो सभी कर रहे हैं, सर आपका आशीर्वाद है, but inside we are pleased, we are happy, inside we feel some satisfaction, and the ego is thinking he has really understood the essence of Krishna conscious dealings. Heart opens up, so therefore pratishtha means having the honor, having the satisfaction of being honored. Prabhupada writes in the Gita purport. So pratishtha bhaye, as soon as people started glorifying, Madhavendra Puri became fearful, started running away. Pratishtha bhaye, Puri gela palaiya, he left that place. So therefore, what is an impediment in service? Disappointment and discomfort is an impediment. Glorification is also impediment. So Madhavendra Puri experienced all of that. He continued serving Krishna, and when people started glorifying, Hare Madhavendra Puri ki jai, ki jai, ki jai, Hare what a mahant, Lord is stealing for him, he is recognized by the Lord. At that time Madhavendra Puri didn't think, now my bhakti is safal, I have at last gained recognition. Now people are able to understand who I really am. So let me now settle down here in Remuna and make my own mutt. Gopinath mutt, Madhavendra Puri mission, Kshir Chor mission, something like that, so that everyone become aware of this. So therefore, attachment to ego creates shithilta or slackness in one's enthusiasm and devotional service. Because when you're attached to your ego, then to your I, me and mine concept, then you get inspired by glorification and you start perspiring when there is distress and your enthusiasm is deflated. So therefore, even while performing bhakti, you should be very careful not to allow this subtle mentality to trap you. Your enthusiasm in serving Krishna should be independent of external comfort and discomfort. Because the center of your service is Krishna, not your ego, not I. Otherwise, even the Rawana mentality follows in devotee clothes. And the devotees feel, I don't feel inspired, I don't like this, I am not very happy, this, that. So many issues will come up. So you have to be extremely careful. So therefore, although Madhavendra Puri was running away from Pratishtha, but Pratishtha was following Madhavendra Puri. Krishna prema Pratishtha chale sange kadaiya. Because he had genuine Krishna prem, the Pratishtha was following. So he didn't have to separately try for it, he was running away from it. So one of the greatest fears of the ego is, if I don't push myself into prominence, and if I am neglected by my authority or by my colleagues and they don't recognize my efforts, I will be neglected and be forsaken and be useless. So that is how the material world anxiety builds up. There is a desire to be recognized. And you know that there are a few people appointed who can recognize. And so we have a dishonest approach to activities. That we try to show extra hard that we are working and we are skillful and we are doing great activity in front of those whom we feel will recognize. And then when those people are not there, then we think whatever we do, the evaluators are not there, so let me just have fun. do whatever I want. It is said a German, an American and an Indian, this is a small story, 2 days back somebody told me on site. They came to a construction site, and the task was given, you have to dig 10-meter depth hole, 10 such holes. Instruction was given, funds were allotted. So after 10 days, the Malik came and he saw the work had not begun itself, because each one was given 3 holes. German 3, American 3, Indian 3. So the German was asked, why you didn't start the work? And the German said, you have here this mechanized machine for drilling. I am used to automatic. So the automatic machine is not there. So therefore, how can I start? It is not possible. I need the automatic machine. Okay, fine, no problem. So then the American was asked, why you didn't start working? So American said, machine is there, but I am the boss. So I need, assistants and other guys. Whom I am going to consult? I am going to give instructions, but there is no one. So therefore it didn't start. So then Indian was asked, why you didn't start? Well, there is no supervisor. How we can start? Unless supervisor is there, how we can start? So that's one of the big problems. Although India is the land of dharma, but the work culture of India is highly dishonest. It is all supervisor based. If supervisor is there, he will be working. As soon as he goes, he will sit and drink chai. So that is a supervisor. And therefore India is suffering materially, because we are supposed to be a land of dharma. We have given up our original culture of being accepting Krishna as Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhota, Maheshwara. In traditional India, Vedic India, people accepted Lord as the witness. So they would just be very conscious of what they are doing. So automatically there was a system for building character. There was an inbuilt system for character development, because everyone was conscious that the Lord is witnessing. He will evaluate. And based on his evaluation, he will give a destination. So there was an automatic system for good character. You throw God consciousness out, you bring all this, Western concept of supervision and this and that. But in India, the original culture, if you throw out, then whatever you bring in will not work. So you go to Japan, you go to China, you go to America, there is at least some honesty in work culture. That even if nobody is around seeing, that fellow will keep on working. There are no such detailed, intricate systems. But India has neither here nor there. So similarly, in Krishna consciousness, if you serve with the supervisor syndrome, that I will serve honestly when somebody is watching. Oh, because the devotees will say something nice, so let me do. In that kind of mode, your bhakti will not last too many years. So therefore, we have to create intelligent people who are having 4 qualities: hardworking, honest, humble, and helpful. It is called I4H. I4H means intelligent, and many times intelligent people have tendency to be lazy. Get things done through some idea. No, hardworking. When somebody is hardworking, so he expects that, I should always be successful and victorious, and if he doesn't, then he starts cheating. Be honest. Accept defeat sometimes. accept the fact that I am not in control. Right? And work honestly. Don't, be dishonest in your work and your ethics. Hardworking, honest. And when you are hardworking and honest, tendency is to take credit. I have done it. Now be humble. No, Krishna is in control. I am simply an instrument. And then when you are all these things, you may become self-conscious and you just be thinking about myself. Oh, I am able to do it, no problem. No, be helpful also. So therefore, that's one of the paradigms in our training in Krishna consciousness, which I personally have imbibed in my association with His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This is the kind of training we need to give to our youth and others who get connected to ISKCON. Yajantihi sumedhasha. Anyone who chants is intelligent. But they have to be trained so that they become hardworking, honest, humble and helpful. Not that they become apathetic. Oh, someone is having some issue. Krishna will take care of him. For you, Lord Chaitanya will take care. Your problem is too much. Nityanand has to come. Don't bother me. No, devotee care. We have to also care for others. So therefore, Madhavendra Puri, in that pastime it is described, Pragad premer ei swabhava achar, nija dukkha bignadir no kore vichar. This is the crux of condensed love. So when that vision of Ravana changes and you develop the vision of a Vaishnava, the Vaishnava vision is, how can Krishna be pleased? Pragada prema. When Kam completely transforms and becomes prema. Pragada premera. Pragada prema means condensed love. Ei swabhava achar. This is the swabhav, this is the character, this is the symptom. That now the prema has developed. It is thickening. The feelings are thickening within the heart. It has become substantial. What is that? Nija dukkha vignadir no kore vichar. The symptom of love is not that tears start flowing and body starts shaking. That is not symptom of love. The symptom of love is one continues serving Krishna in spite of four things: scarcity, impediment, discomfort and unhappiness. Although you will experience scarcity, when there is scarcity, you feel miserable. Arey, why the hell funds are not available? Why nobody is there to help me? Why so many people are not coming forward to assist me and encourage me? It's too difficult. This service is too difficult. There is too much scarcity of resources. Oh, I am not feeling inspired to practice in this city because there is no sangha of devotees. There is scarcity. No, you continue serving. Impediment. So many impediments, external, internal. The government is not giving permissions, the funds are not getting raised, so many neighbors are creating trouble, court cases are going on, colleges are not giving permission, professors are threatening we will fail you in exam. So many impediments may come. Oh, exam time, yatra is happening, how will I go for yatra? Or if I go to yatra, how will I pass in exam? So many impediments will come. And then discomfort. I have to get up early in the morning. My God, winter season, how can I get up? It is so much discomfort. You want me to take bath and you want me to wear dhoti. Oh, I have to come for satsang in dhoti, then change into pant shirt, then go here, go there. So much discomfort. Oh, no onion, no garlic. only prasadam. But I am going on a factory tour, on industrial tour to this place, there is no prasad available. So many hotels, but I can't eat. So much discomfort. You go to West, you will be miserable. Because practically everywhere there are opportunities to eat, but a devotee can't eat anywhere. You will really be in discomfort. So therefore, forget it. Here I will just break. And when I go back with Sangha in Pune, then I will again follow. And unhappiness. Oh, this devotee criticized me. This person, he didn't give me second gulab jamun when I asked. This fellow is very stingy. He makes me work overtime and gives me prasad under time. Should devotees behave like this? No, this is not proper. This is not Vaishnava. I didn't give up all my nice materialistic demoniac friends for this. Unhappiness. Something you have not fulfilled. Some desire is not fulfilled. Scarcity, impediment, discomfort and unhappiness you will experience anywhere you go. And then when you continue serving in spite of that, then you will be blissful. That is love. And therefore Madhavendra Puri's pastime is demonstrating that how he went with the vision of pleasing and serving Lord in all circumstances. So even if he was glorified, he didn't stop his service. Sometimes too much glorification may make you stop your service. So therefore even ISKCON devotees serving 10 years, 15 years, they have had trouble because they got so much glorified, they put their position above Krishna. They became the worshipable deity. So when a pujari is in front of the altar, okay, you know Tirupati or any of the big temples you go, so many people come, line for darshan. And the pujari takes coconut, garland, offers, gives back. And if the pujari looks at the line and think, मुझे देखने बहुत लंबी लाइन खड़ी है और बहुत कुछ लेके भी आए हैं, बहुत नारियल लाए हैं, अच्छा है. Have they brought for him? They have brought for whom? So similarly, anyone who is representing Krishna is supposed to be representing on behalf of the Lord. If I start thinking, 200-300 लोग मेरे को सुनने के लिए यहाँ बैठे, बढ़िया सुन रहे हैं, मेरा सुन रहे हैं, भला होगा. If you think like that, finished. You are sitting because you are here to hear about Krishna. So you are hearing about Krishna, how you can change your consciousness from selfish to Krishna consciousness. That's the whole idea. So therefore, this is the art of studying the Srimad Bhagavatam. That you study the Bhagavatam in such a way that it transforms your consciousness from selfish to selfless. If the studying of Srimad Bhagavatam is not making you hardworking, humble, honest and helpful, and it is not giving you the inspiration to serve in spite of scarcity, impediments, discomfort, unhappiness, and it is not making you feel joyful, blissful, then you have to re-evaluate. Probably there is something wrong in my studying. Therefore you cannot separate your study from your service. So therefore studying Bhagavatam is not a theoretical exercise of turning pages of a book. It has to create transformation within, and it has the power to do that. Therefore you have to start associating with the Bhagavatam every day. Spend some time. And all of you are intelligent, English-speaking people. You are coming from academic background. You don't need too much of training in how to study. Because that's practically the only thing you have done in your life. But you need to understand how this study is different from your other study, and what is the final output you are going to get as a result of this study. So therefore, you contact this sound vibration of the Srimad Bhagavatam on a regular basis, and the more you experience the transformation within, the more you will be inspired to continue studying. So these are a few thoughts I wanted you to hear about the Bhagavatam, and we are so grateful to Srila Prabhupada that he has written these purports filled with so much nectar. Any one line has the power to give you inspiration for a lifetime. That is the potency of Prabhupada's words. They are not ordinary. So the more you study with attention, yat shrinvato apaiti aratir vitrishna sattvam cha shuddhyati achirena pumsa bhaktim harau tat purushe cha sakhyam tadeva haram vada manyaset chet. So probably we'll discuss this in our afternoon class in the temple, this verse, which describes about what are the 5 effects of hearing the Bhagavatam spoken by Parikshit Maharaj himself. Shukadeva Goswami is speaking, Parikshit Maharaj is speaking to Shukadeva Goswami, please speak, because these are the 5 effects of hearing. Yena yena avatarena bhagavan haririshwara karoti karna ramyani manogyani chana prabhu. Krishna appeared in different incarnations, and you have just described the Putana pastime. Karoti karna ramyani manogyani, and it is very pleasing to the heart, pleasing to the ears. Manogyani, and very pleasing to the mind also. So then he says, then it creates these effects on the heart like that. So the subject matter of Bhagavatam is very fascinating. The 10th canto Bhagavatam, last shloka of the 10th canto, which is called the Falastuti, like what you will get by studying the 10th canto. The last verse of the 10th canto says, anyone who hears 10th canto will achieve the lotus feet of Mukunda. And greatest kings in history, after hearing these pastimes, have left their kingdom and gone to the forest. And that is what will happen. Detachment, because of attachment towards lotus feet of Krishna, will arise. So therefore, we encourage you to study your academic books nicely and also develop a good character by following the principles as being trained by the IYS preachers, and then also study the books in such a way that you are able to inculcate some real qualities within your heart. And do not be fearful of working hard. Why one is afraid of working hard? Because one is afraid of giving pain to oneself. Because the paradigm is, let me give pleasure to myself. So if you change the paradigm and work on giving pleasure to Krishna, even at the cost of giving oneself pain, internally that will be more pleasing. So you have to change your orientation from within. The wiring has to be changed from inside. And that's what the Bhagavatam does. So thank you all very much for your kind attention, and I am grateful to Radheshyam Prabhu for creating such an amazing environment and ambience where hundreds and thousands of youth can get transformed in Krishna consciousness. Radheshyam Prabhu has been very, very instrumental in creating this revolution here in the last 13-14 years. And in a very short period of time, such an amazing project has come forward. So I'm sure that in the years to come, this temple is going to be one of the beacons of inspiration and guidance to devotees all over the world. Thank you all very much for inviting me and giving me a chance to share a few things. I'm still a long way to go from, coming to the standards which is expected from people like Radhanath Maharaj and others. But our good fortune is we are able to assist them in a small way. So the great pleasure in Krishna consciousness is you don't have the anxiety of becoming someone. You can just assist someone. Right? Maharaj makes a beautiful statement. Krishna consciousness is not about doing great things, but it is about doing small things with great love. So you don't have the anxiety of doing great things, but you can do small things with great love. If a housewife is there, she may never give a lecture in her whole life. She may never, give a program in her whole life. She may never do a public arati because she is a lady. She can never get that privilege in India. She may never come on the altar to be seen. She may never do something externally significant. But if she just takes care of her small child and gives him good sanskar, good example and good training. So from Krishna's point of view, from an absolute point of view, she is as dear as a very high profile preacher who's going town to town and city to city and country to country spreading the message of Krishna consciousness. If she is doing that with great love and humility, and if a preacher, is speaking with great pride, so from Krishna's point of view, that lady's contribution is more significant. Because it's the mood in which we do things which is captured by Krishna. Not the activity, but the intent behind the activity is what Krishna consciousness is all about. And if you are able to combine efficient action with genuine, honest and humble intention, that's the perfection. So thank you all very much. I have to go now for the Sunday program also. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Can I ask a question, Gaurang Prabhu?
Sorry?
You can ask a question?
Question?
Your prasadam is coming at 12 here.
Where?
Here.
My prasadam?
Yes.
No, I am going to Parashuram Prabhu.
Yeah, we told him to bring here. Because he thought he get late.
He'll feel bad. Tell him I'll come there only.
Call him.
Tell him I'm coming to his house.
We thought he'll get half an hour more from you.
No, because he has been telling me last 1 year to come to his house, So 1 year I fixed the time. And if you change that, he'll feel bad. I'll come there. I may spend less time, but I'll come there. Yes, Prabhu.
You can briefly tell us, when you study Bhagavatam, say Canto 1 or something, what is the method of approach to studying Bhagavatam when you say take a chapter, Bhishma, Pitama, something? How do you study? Because many of them have just begun reading Bhagavatam now.
Yeah, one thing is you can refer to those notes in ISKCON Desire Tree. Secondly, Each devotee will have a certain way of inspirational study. So you can divide a chapter into sections, themes. So if you have Bhakti Vaibhav notes, I think we have some Bhakti Vaibhav notes online, at least of the first 4 or 5 cantos. So those first 4 or 5 cantos notes are already there. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just go through those notes and see how the different chapters are divided into different themes and shlokas. That is a great help. So that will, because most of you are academic background, educated, so you will appreciate to see the logical connection between the different shlokas. So I think you already have our Vamsivadan Prabhu here. So I think he is very well connected with all the literatures which are available within ISKCON, which are known as study guides. So if you can study with the help of a study guide, it is very good. Otherwise, if you don't want to go into a too detailed academic study, you just want to inspirational study, then at least spend every day 1 hour to 2 hours reading through the Bhagavatam. But gradual progression from the first canto, verse by verse, to the 12th canto is recommended. That is recommended by Prabhupada himself in one of the purports. Systematic study right from the beginning. Then one more thing is, you should know that Prabhupada had less time, still he took the time for giving the word-to-word translation. If Prabhupada had omitted word-to-word translation, he could have covered more chapters. So because he did word-to-word translation, then in your study also, you can go through the word-to-word translation if you want. That will give another dimension. Okay, so then another way is also to analyze the purports in terms of the 6 tattvas which I just described. Krishna tattva, Bhakti tattva, Prema tattva sar, Bhava tattva, Rasa tattva, Lila tattva are. So all the pastimes in Bhagavatam have these 6 tattvas in different degrees, right? Just like in your prasadam plate, there is rice, dal, sabji, puri, gulab jamun, sweet rice, this, that. Many ingredients are common, right? Ingredients are common. There is rice in your rice plate also, and there is rice in the sweet rice also. So rice is common, but there rice is milk with milk. Here rice is milk with probably your dal or sambar or whatever. So then these are the 6 ingredients which are mixed together to create the flavor of Krishna Lila. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Prema Tattva, Sar, Bhava Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Lila Tattva are. So different pastimes will reveal and different shlokas will reveal many of these things. So when you follow the Acharya's commentaries, then everything falls into place. Then another way you can is, if you are looking from preaching point of view, then you can also take contemporary topics which Prabhupada is touching upon in the purports. Many nice contemporary points Prabhupada reveals in the purports. Which are very applicable for modern times. So that you can also try to see. That's very important. Another thing is, you can try to also read, for those who are interested in Sanskrit. So you can try to memorize some verses of the Bhagavatam if you are interested. Or you can refer to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhagavat Arka Marichi Mala. Bhagavat Arka Marichi Mala. That is now available in English also. It is dividing the Bhagavatam into, the 6 symptoms of surrender. Bhagavatam verses. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam rakshayishiti vishwaso goptritve varanam tatha atmanikshepa karpanyam shadvidha sharanagati. How Bhagavatam verses can help you surrender. Or you can refer to the 6 Goswamis, Ajiva Goswamis, Shadasandarbha. Shadasandarbha is no Krishna Sandarbha, Bhagavad Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha, Priti Sandarbha, and one more. 6 are there. 4 Sandarbhas refer to Sambandha Gyan, 1 Sambandha refers to Abhidaya Gyan, Bhakti Sandarbha, and Priti Sandarbha refers to Prayojan. So what is Shad Sandarbha? Shad Sandarbha is nothing but topic-wise classification of Bhagavatam. The way Shukadeva Goswami and Sutta Goswami have spoken is chronologically in terms of like different leelas, pastimes leading up to 10th canto. But topic-wise, if you want to study Bhagavatam, that is Shad Sandarbha. So, it is described among Sanskrit scholars that the end of the last point of education, the summum bonum of education and academic study is Bhagavat. If you have studied Bhagavatam, there is nothing above that. It is the Shiromani. So once you read once, then you have so many other ways in which you can read. But I would say that describing all this is too much, because if you are able to just read Prabhupada's Bhagavatam once, whether systematically or unsystematically, that is the state of Kali Yuga, because people's attention span has come down because of email, mobile, Facebook, all these things. Attention span is low. Previously, the sages were not sitting for hearing from Shukadeva Goswami with cell phones in their side. And here, representative of Shukadeva Goswami sitting with cell phone. So our attention span has come down because of Kali Yuga situations. So otherwise the sky is the limit as to how much deep you can go into Bhagavatam. The Acharyas have given us a big menu card. But you have to enter the restaurant first. Right? The restaurant must be having a big menu of 200 dishes. But if you just look from outside, Govinda's restaurant, Govinda, Govinda, and you just go, and what's the point? So you have Prabhupada's Tatparya, Bhaktivedanta Purports, Chakravarti Pat Tika, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Tika, Saraswati Thakur Tika, Sanatan Goswami Tika, Dhiraragava Acharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sridhar Swami, Vallabhacharya, so many tikas you have. Is it not? But we are busy eating aloo tikki. That is more relishable than these tikas. So till that time, all of this discussion is theoretical. But be rest assured that there is unlimited materials available to inspire you in going deeper and deeper. Don't think that once I finish 12th canto, somebody told, I asked, why you are not studying? Arey, khatam ho gaya, phir kya karunga? Dhire. So I said, have you planned that what will be your last breath? And that day you will finish the last verse of the 12th canto? No. Life is uncertain. So the more you study, the more there will be so many ways in which you can relish wonderful things. Okay? So I think I'd like to stop now. I am also feeling hungry. And I really wish to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart that you're taking this process so seriously. And please continue. You have the right guidance and the right ambience, perfect association. Wish you all the best for your academics and also the practice of your Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki. I hope Premanande.
So let us thank Gaurang Prabhu from our heart. Haribo. So we wish to have him again for a longer duration sometime in future. It was such an enlivening experience hearing, especially about the enjoying mentality. He compared to about Ravana's mentality and Hanuman's mentality so wonderfully. So another time we will get him for one full day. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So in case Radha Gopinath Prabhu will be coming by 12:15 or so. So we can be back by 12:10 or so. Hare Krishna.